we live? That's always the question. Let me refresh this.
Are we live is like the will it float for Letterman.
Yeah, we are. Let me get this link out.
Yeah.
By the way, the hair is looking long now.
You like my long locks?
You got the
Yeah,
locks
yeah.
And you got the beard going.
Jason Worth is my all-time favorite baseball player. So
you're going for the Jason Worth look.
Yep.
I like that. It looks good on you. You can pull it off.
I took a live shot of you thusting because I think
you took a live shot of me thusting.
It's like a look into the wild.
What am I, fucking polar bear?
Yeah.
A look into the wild.
Yeah.
Let me. God damn it. Let me.
While we're talking, like, how do you pronounce Harambe? Harambe. Yeah. I had to do a little deep dive on that because I remember that incident, and now you could, but it's such a big part of your existence.
It's pathetic. I'm a grown man. It's quite pathetic. It's like, I mean, what do people think? Like when they.
Do I need to hand my mic to you as you tie your shoes?
This is they're getting the pre-show. That's what they're getting right now. I'm just tweeting out the links. You know, we got to let the people know that we are live.
Yeah, you got to. I'm enjoying watching this because, you know, hopefully in a couple months I'll be doing this for Now We're Talking.
I mean, we're already getting questions. What's up with Andy's shirt? Well, first of all, it's the Bill Walton Pyramid of Success tie-dye shirt.
The question is totally valid.
What's that?
It's a completely valid T-shirt. Over under 1.5 holes in that shirt?
There's none. You know who tie-dyed this for me? Praino. Praino's a man of many.
Praino's so sneaky, crafty. Like every
Praino's very good at this.
Yeah, it's like I see him. He's the one that's doing the measuring on the wall. You know, he's like almost like a Mr. Mom of the dirty sports.
Oh, but he's. I think that's an Italian trait, is it not?
Does he also do like a family dinner Sundays like I see on Jersey Shore?
No, he doesn't do that. But Praino is he's great at this stuff. Like he did this again. You know, I couldn't have tie-dyed. Maybe I could have.
You could totally have tie-dyed. That's like things you do in like second grade.
So you think I could have?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of rubber bands and like pigment.
Okay, well, we are live, Tug. So let's.
One of the great one-handed typers on the planet.
Me?
Yeah, you're like the LeBron James of one-handed typing.
The LeBron James of typing. I will take that as a
one-handed
compliment.
Typing.
Okay, let's get this bad boy going.
Are you so old that when you took a typing class, it was on a typewriter in high school?
No, it was.
It was on computer.
It was on a computer, and they put the thing over the keyboard.
I think I was the last year of my school that was on a typewriter.
All right,
that's sad.
You ready to do this, buddy?
Let's do it.
All right. Looking into your eyes, getting that zone.
I just want that welcome.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in Venice Beach, California. With my co-host today, filling in for the infamous Joey No Chill Praino and other infamous Tug Coker.
Hello, Andy.
You put the acting face on for that one.
I really did.
You?
I tried hard. I got a lot to live up to with that one.
Now, Praino is doing some personal stand-up comedy thusting in New York, and we got a lot of blowback from dirtballs saying, you guys didn't cover the World Cup at all. This is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And Praino was like, well, then fuck them. Tug can fill in and cover the World Cup for me.
Yeah, and I'm doing that. Like, I know no more than you guys, but I've watched. I think the fun of the World Cup is, for me, is like just getting up and watching games at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning.
Well, see, that's been my. Let's just get to it. That's my biggest problem, Tug. The games all this week through the weekend are at 5, 8, and 11 a.m. our time.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not making excuses. I was very honest last episode, and I told everybody I have not watched the World Cup because I just wanted a goddamn break. I just wanted
break
to break
from what? Your life is a joke. I mean, every Instagram story is you playing basketball in Venice Beach or hanging up like a Top Gun poster on your wall. What are you talking about?
I needed a break from sports, Tug.
Oh, okay, I got you. Listen. After the NBA draft, you have some World Cup. That's sort of like mid-July to mid-August. That's the break time. There's no what's going on mid-July through mid-August.
I get a month off. That's it.
You want 2 months off?
I mean, come on, man.
What do you, even mid-August? You want some like NFL spring training news?
Well, the college
Fantasy
football
draft,
college football rolls around like end of August. Man.
Yeah,
they keep creeping that up earlier and earlier. Look. I guess I shouldn't be making excuses, and I was. But let's talk about the actual time. So you think, again, games are at 5 and 8 a.m. You think I should be getting up for these soccer games, which a sport I have been honest about, that I don't care about.
Yeah. The 5 a.m. one, I think, is, well, I mean, like what? East Coast is 8.
Yeah.
8 a.m. for the first game, not bad. The 5 a.m. one, I think, is almost an auto DVR for the West Coasters. I mean, I definitely don't get up for that game. Although I'm kind of excited to try one time just to get up at 5 in the morning and go to these pubs and bars that are open at 5 just to see who is in there.
You're really making me feel bad because
I
you have a family, you have a child.
That's right.
You have way more things on your plate than me. And I'm just going, nah, I need my sleep.
That's exactly right. I'm just trying to squeeze life, as much as I can. And you just, I can't, I'm actually disappointed. And you, like, that you would just, your life is such a, like, I thought everyone kind of wanted your life. But the 8 a.m., the 5 a.m., 8 a.m., I think it's awesome because you kind of like, it's like a compressed version of the NFL. Like, you do the game.
Okay.
And you go on with your day. Like, the games, the other thing I love about soccer, one of the many things I like, especially in the World Cup, in the early stages, you're done in like 2 hours. Because there's no commercials.
I do like the no commercials.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I saw someone on Twitter trying to ask like how they do the economics, but we need to figure this out.
What do you mean? What do you mean how they do the economics?
Well, obviously this is a TV show because people are paying for it to be on air. So Budweiser, etc.
Yeah.
Budweiser's cool with the idea of like, listen, don't run a commercial of Clydesdale. Just put the ribbon up next to the score and we're good.
Okay.
Like, how does that work? I'm curious. I'm sort of asking.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't know the answer to that. It's like,
no,
like the worst person to ask is you.
What do you mean I'm the worst person to ask? The thing I have paid attention to was I saw that there was an ad that's running in all the Spanish-speaking countries, which has caused some blowback. It is an ad for vibrating underwear.
I've not seen this.
Yeah.
Why can't this cross over?
Why isn't it in Estados Unidos, huh?
Yeah.
Why isn't it here in America? Yeah, I saw that. It's an ad for basically, I don't know if it's like a vibrator in underwear for a woman, because the ad was all in Spanish. And sadly, I'm not as fluent as I should be.
I'm not fluent at all, and I'm very embarrassed by it.
Dude, I lived in Spain for 4 months.
Yeah.
With a family that spoke zero English.
And how was it then for you? Could you get around?
For sure. I mean, that was also 2002, fall of 2002. My family, my host mother, shout out to Feely if she's still alive.
Still listening?
She spoke zero English. So by the end of that trip, I understood Spanish pretty well. Mm-hmm. Speaking it was still, that's not the easiest. But then I went back to Missouri in college, and there was nobody speaking Spanish in Missouri.
My wife speaks Spanish. And
fluently?
Yep. And we went to Spain years ago, and like we got in a cab, and she had the best conversation with the cab driver, and every other word was like them pointing at me.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse than that experience. But that brings up a point that I'm enjoying about the World Cup is, do you watch games like you go to the Rams games? Do you like being sort of like around other people rooting for sports, or do you like to like be in your own space and watch them alone?
Well, it depends. I come from a different background because a lot of times, I make some of my living through funneling people to websites and through social media. So on like NFL Sundays, I kind of like being alone. But no, not if I'm going to a game, I for sure want to be around people.
See, I think that's been what's been really fun for the World Cup so far is going. I've been a couple of different places. I'm trying to go to like 5 or 6 places around town that all like support their teams. Like, I went to
that is cool.
I went to Verskuch or whatever you want to call it on Lincoln, which is a German beer hall. Now, it was predominantly a Mexican fan base there, but it was super fun because Mexico won 1-0.
Good food there, by the way,
Good
too.
food. Everyone's up at like 8 in the morning. You're having a beer at 8:30 in the morning. It's like a great excuse to have beers at 8 in the morning.
It is a great excuse to drink early.
It's a fun, it just feels like a fun month. I feel like you're just kind of connecting with the world at large.
Yeah.
Which is part of the fun of the World Cup. But you want to talk about some of the teams?
Well, hold on. Where else have you gone? I think this is cool. So you're doing basically a Tug Coker tour.
I am doing a Tug Coker tour around LA.
Have you gone to any of the English pubs?
Not yet, but I did go to Cock and Bull 4 years ago, and there was a line. It was like a 4-block line. Like no one could get in.
Do you want to hear a great Cock and Bull story?
Please.
They used to do an open mic stand-up comedy night there.
This is Praino's favorite bar in LA, by the way.
Which I don't understand.
I think most people don't understand.
It's not, the food's not that good. Praino always goes, dude, the food at Cock and Bull, the English food, it's not that good. It's not that good.
No, English are not known for their food. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I know. Praino's always pushing to go to Cock and Bull. So anyway, they used to do an open mic there on Sunday night. I think I've told this story actually on Dirty Sports. Not a good idea, by the way, right? Like, an English pub, you're bringing in like LA comics and like hipster comics trying to work out material. One night, the comedian started messing with one of these just drunk English patrons at the bar. A full-fledged fight broke out. Like
during a set?
So like the English dude he's so English. You know when the people are like so English you don't understand what they're saying?
Yeah.
Like the accent was that strong.
Yeah, it's so thick.
So thick.
Yeah.
He charges the stage of the comic.
That's unbelievable.
And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, and I remember I still had to go up. I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to follow this? I'm supposed to go up there with like, you guys on Tinder? Like, like, how do you follow a full-fledged fight that just broke out on a Sunday night? Needless to say, the open mic didn't last too long there.
Well, I think I went 4 years ago for the U.S. England game. I think that was a 1-1 draw, and I definitely want to go back there. There's King's Head for people who are like listening from L.A. who obviously know that space. But there's a couple like apparently there's a place in Santa Monica that has like a big Iceland following. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
But so I'm just kind of excited to go. It's a great excuse for a young, a dad with a young kid to kind of get out early, avoid, watching his son in the morning and say, like, it's 1 month, babe.
Sure.
It's 1 month.
Well, you have a great wife for that.
A very good wife.
By the way, Tug, did we both miss this? I'm just looking in the comment section on YouTube. Did I say welcome to the Dent Report? And neither of us caught it?
No, I guess I wasn't listening.
I'm looking at lots of comments. They're saying, welcome to the Dent Report.
I was just sitting on Hello, Andy, and totally wasn't listening, like a bad actor.
That's amazing. You weren't listening, and I said, welcome to the Dent Report. I'm mixing up my podcasts.
Is that too much? Are you being spread too thin?
No, I'm not being spread too thin. I mean, you already just said that a few minutes ago. Like,
I did, off air. Or on the pre-show, maybe.
No, on the show. You guilted me. You're saying, look, Ruther, like, I got shit going on. I got a wife. I got a child.
Yeah.
I'm making it to these games. You're a single dude who lives in a studio apartment. But let's get to the actual games. Now, you watch them. We have the groups printed out here, which I think will help.
Well, I have the groups. I'm more interested because I think in these second round games, there's a lot of guys out the Dirtballs know. I've seen a lot of some great tweets out there. I think the second game, when you've won the first, is really important because it gets you to that next round, the knockout stage and the knockout stage.
Okay.
And I think that's really important. Like, I think Russia has a chance to. They've already basically advanced. They got to play Uruguay next week. I mean, Russia's looking one of the most surprising host teams of the last several World Cups.
But I will say, again, I don't know anything. Like, I'm going to preface this, guys. Like,
both. This is two guys who don't follow soccer year round.
So if you're a legit soccer or football fan, don't hold us to this.
There are many other places to go to get the actual analysis.
Yeah, but wait till you see some of the things I had on the rundown because it's dirty sports related. But
or is it Dent Report related?
Yeah, God, look at me. The dent is showing. So my friend and comedian Michael Magid, he has a soccer podcast, and he works in the soccer business for a living. He did come on our show for a preview, But he did say, I'm going to give a little caveat for Russia. He said it was the easiest bracket, and it wasn't, he's calling bullshit. Like, oh, they randomly were placed in a total fluff bracket. So that's my one caveat. Like, I get what you're saying, that they're surprising people, but from what he said, and I trust him, someone who knows the sport, they were placed in a total fucking cream puff bracket.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I just watched. I'm a little late to the party. People out there who watched Icarus. Have you seen Icarus? This documentary that won the best documentary at the Academy Awards.
Yeah, I did watch it. What's that about again?
It's about a guy who is a documentarian and a writer, and he wanted to. He loves cycling, so he tried to do this, like one of the most prestigious amateur cycling races in the world, and he finished like top 20.
Okay.
And so he wanted to juice himself.
Yeah.
And so, but people who know this, forgive me, but like, so he tried to find the experts to help him with the juicing, and he stumbled upon this guy who runs the whole Russian drug program for athletes.
Okay.
And so he basically helped take down all these Russian athletes. It's a great documentary. You got to check it out. But once you see that, you're like, you don't trust any. I lived in Russia for 4 months. And I love Russia.
Well, you lived in Russia for 4 months?
I did. About 15 years ago, as a matter of fact, I lived in Russia. I was in grad school for theater, and I lived in Moscow. And
Tug, deep dives with Tug Coker.
And it was amazing. The people there are so great. It was I call it the best thing I never want to do again, because I lost 20 pounds. I couldn't find any food.
What do you mean you couldn't find any food? Explain that.
It was just hard. It was just hard for me to find, like, because here in America, you're just finding, like, you go to the supermarket, right? And it's like a cornucopia of food. Like it's endless amounts of food.
Yeah, we have a surplus.
Yeah, and it's like, it could be as processed or not as you want, but like Russia, it's hard to find. It was just hard to find things to eat. Like, you can't just snack on almonds. You know what I mean?
That makes sense, because I growing up, for me, I remember there was always the joke that you had to wait in line for weeks to get a loaf of bread. I mean, granted, that was, again, an exaggeration, and that was the 80s during the Cold War still, but that's wild, man.
Well, I remember, the two things I remember is that there's instead of like sausage people, like men and women cooking sausages in Santa Monica or whatever on the street.
Yeah,
it was potato stands.
Oh,
so it was just baked potato in aluminum foil.
They need Mexicans. That's the solution. We need to. Well, first of all, I don't want to give them our Mexicans, because I love, dude. I am so. I decided yesterday, not that I needed to decide, because I've probably felt this way forever. Mexican food is without a doubt my favorite food.
It's pretty great.
Like, I'll never turn down a Mexican meal. They have. I discovered. I know we're gonna get to the World Cup. I swear. I discovered there is a taco, not a truck. This Mexican couple has a taco stand directly across the street from Gold's Gym in Venice, and it is top-notch shit.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a generator they bust out of a truck, and they're there 5 nights a week, and $5 for a quesadilla, $1 for a taco, $6 for a burrito, and they're smart. They do it across from Gold's Gym. A lot of those meatheads are all. They want to bulk up on their meals.
Right.
So I bike by there a lot. And you
don't touch the Golds.
Fuck the Golds, man. No, because I do that comedy show at a hostel, so I go on the back roads.
Yeah.
And I like to kind of get stoned a lot of times and just like bike. Like, that's my new thing, is getting stoned and biking around.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many cool neighborhoods in LA and in Venice. And so I discovered this, and I've eaten there twice now recently. So, you know what? The moral of this is more Mexicans. Bring them.
Well, quick. I read a story about how Russia's being running out of beer. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yeah, so many fans was coming to party, and they're like, the beer supply is.
But see, okay, this is a bigger problem that I've always complained about with the World Cup, with the Olympics. Now that we
promise we'll talk football. We're talking.
But we are right now. This is a problem I've always said, and it might sound arrogant and pro-America, whatever you want to call it. My argument always is, Tug, not that Russia's a third world country. These big sporting events should not be in these type of countries. They should be in countries like America, where you would never run out of beer in America. I'm just saying, like, this is a reality.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of fun to watch the Globe host it, but
we have an infrastructure too.
that's the key.
That's already in place.
Yeah, that's the big one because so many of these football stadiums are already set up and ready to rock. I mean, that was I think that was the reason why the U.S. got the one in
2026.
2026.
Finally. All right, so.
But let me just finish my Russia story.
Go for it.
So there's a great beer there, Baltica. They have 1 through 9, and that's the potency. The potency is like least potent is 1, and highest potency is 9. And you can just grab one. And I used to grab one on the way to school. I would away home from school, and you just walk on the streets of Moscow and just have a beer. And I remember I watched two old guys, probably in their 60s. This was like on my way to school, like 7:30 in the morning, fighting each other on the street. But it was like this. They were trying to hit each other as hard as they could, and they were barely making a dent. It was almost like comical, and it was just amazing. The things I saw were just.
Why did you decide to go to Russia for
part
theater?
of the program? Part of the program that I went to had a semester in Moscow, and you went there, and it's pretty crazy.
I'm connecting the dots. Tug goes all the way to Russia to become this thespian, and then he lands amazing roles like, I didn't have to rape anybody. I don't need to. On Law & Order SVU.
2 years later, I think I landed that. That's right.
You know that clip's on my computer, by the way.
Thank God.
On my desktop.
Can we get on more desktops around the country? No, please don't.
So World Cup.
Yeah, World Cup.
Who's impressed you so far? Who has not impressed you? Some of Tug Coker's hot takes.
I would say the one team. This is for the soccer nerds out there. The team that's really impressed me that's not going anywhere is Morocco. They scored exactly 0 goals, but they played Iran in round 1 and gave up an own goal, the latest own goal in the history of the World Cup. And then they lose to Portugal today in a game. I think if people were watching, they held their own, if not played better than Portugal. I mean, Portugal was lucky to get a goal in the 5th minute, and it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo, just to make a comparison, I was thinking like Messi versus Ronaldo, and maybe you talked about this when your buddy was here, but like, which one? Who's LeBron? Who's KD? And I think like Ronaldo is like KD to me because he's just one of these guys that gets buckets. I mean, and Messi may be more the all-purpose guy. Feel free to argue with me, Tug Coker on Twitter.
Well, Ronaldo, the first game against what they had a draw. Who'd they draw against? 3-3.
Spain.
Against Spain, he hit the hat trick, right?
And he had clutch goals. I mean, the goals were somewhat fluky in that game. Like there was a mistake by the goalie, which we've seen a bunch of goalie mistakes recently. The Champions League final comes to mind, but. Obviously, a late goal by Ronaldo with an incredible free kick and a penalty kick. But, they're the reigning, Europe champions. And it feels like he kind of puts them on their back right now. There's some great players on the team, Pepe, William, all these guys. But they haven't, to me, I thought Spain played pretty well in that first round game. They kind of struggled today. They looked sluggish today against Iran.
When did Spain win? Did they win? They won the World Cup in what, 2012?
2010. In South Africa, I want to say.
I mean, I'm just making up years that they don't even play it.
Yeah, Brazil's 14.
Yeah.
And they played in 2010. They won
because 2014 Germany won, right?
Yeah, and Spain was terrible in 2014. They didn't even get. They got destroyed in their group.
Yeah.
Embarrassed, and I think they came back around. Everyone knows about one of my favorite things about the Spanish team. Why I'm a fan, PK. Who used to date what's her face? I'm not going to do this. What's the South American singer who has like the
Shakira.
PK used to date her.
Do your Shakira again.
No, I'm not doing that again.
That's a gif right there, buddy.
Oh my God.
Tug Coker doing Shakira.
But
that's a YouTube exclusive right there.
So Spain. As the fans know, their coach had them 14 wins, 0 losses, 6 ties in their last 20 international matches. Had them going.
Wow.
Decides to take the Real Madrid job because Zinedine Zidane, or however his name is pronounced, left, and he took the job. And basically, the federation said, "No." They pulled a Bo Schembechler and said, "We want a coach to be our coach."
Okay.
So they brought in a new guy. But PK, in Michigan fashion, sends out a tweet. I don't know who fed him this information, but sends out a tweet, says, this has been done before. 1989, University of Michigan basketball has replaced their coach and won the title. So it can be done. So whoever fed him, was he watching Glenn Rice and Ramil Robinson highlights
against Seton Hall?
Yeah. I mean, I just love that this poll to this like guy who has millions of followers pulls out this Michigan like stat to support, the Spanish claims.
But Spain, they had a draw, and then have they played since?
Yeah, they played today and they beat Iran 1-0, which was a pretty lackluster game.
Should be killing Iran.
I think yes. I think people expected. I think Iran won some money because I think the money, the goal line was like plus 1.5, or whatever.
I will say it's pretty depressing when I see some of these countries in the World Cup and not the U.S. Like countries that are a speck on the globe, and you say, wait, they made the World Cup?
Well, Iceland is like case in point. I think it's smaller than, 45. It's smaller than 45 or 6 states. I think it's like, and apparently 99.6% of the people in Iceland watched that game.
99.6%.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of the dirtballs were rooting for Iceland.
Apparently,
they were doing the cool skull chants.
Oh yeah, the thunderclap.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I guess I associate that with the Vikings now because the Vikings did. But I guess the Vikings
they're related.
Yeah,
they're related.
It's all the same people.
But you brought up the easy group of Russia. I mean, where I think the knockout stages get important because.
So what's the knockout stage? Can you explain it?
Yeah,
is that the next round?
Yeah, correct.
To 16.
So basically, the top 2 teams in each group advance.
Okay.
And so A and B, the best team in A will play the second best team in B. And it becomes like a March Madness style, but with 16 teams.
Gotcha.
So they slot you, and you play an elimination game. And I think where Russia kind of gets into trouble.
So who's leaving that bracket with Russia?
So Russia and Uruguay are going to play each other next week to really show who's number one. And the reason that's important, I think, because the winner of the A group will play Spain or Portugal.
Okay.
And I think it's like. I think you kind of want to avoid Spain still, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you want to avoid Spain, right? Because they're a powerhouse, right?
They're a powerhouse. But there's some great teams out there. I think to look, further down the line a little bit. I mean, I think Jay Lunsford is a follower.
Yeah, he's a great dirtball.
Great dirtball. He's obviously one of the soccer guys to follow. I've been following his stuff. He kind of. There's some guys out there are saying England's weak again. It's possible. I root for England. I like their group.
I root for them for the riots because because. I saw a bunch of the videos. England wins one game, and you would have thought they won the goddamn World Cup.
I'm buddies with a couple of guys from grad school who are English.
Okay.
And we were WhatsApping during the game, and they were like, another typical performance. They gave up like a bad goal at the end of the half, penalty kick, like another typical English performance, and they score late, and they're going nuts too. They're just going nuts, and they're all in. They just kind of like allowed them to be like, another typical English performance. Yeah. And they pulled it out. So, but I really like the England-Belgium draw because they play what I think is another, on paper, weak group, which is Japan, Senegal, Poland, and Colombia. And Colombia was a favorite coming out of that group originally. They lost to Japan 1-0, I believe, yesterday. And Senegal upset Poland. So there's a shot that England and Belgium could be playing Japan and Senegal in the next round, which is like a nice like set matchup for them.
Yeah, Colombia, that's a big disappointment, right?
Yeah, James, I think he's been injured a little bit.
How many players are going to get murdered for that?
I don't know.
Are they still killing? Are they still whacking people when they lose? It's
been a few years, but the climate of the world right now, it doesn't look good.
For Colombian players?
It doesn't look good for Colombian players.
Is Pablo Escobar Jr. going to be whacking people?
See the Bronny of the cartel?
The Bronny of the cartel.
Other teams that I think because I think I already see Andy's eyes rolling in the back of his head talking World Cup guys.
No, it's not. They're not rolling.
Sorry about that.
No. Dude, look, I'm here to learn. This is all good for me. We're of course going to get to the NBA draft.
Oh yeah.
We're going to go deep into all that. But I do want to bring up a few Andy Ruther stories, which are fitting for Dirty Sports, concerning the World Cup. I saw an interesting article on Bleacher Report discussing if sex matters.
Yeah, this is a typical Andy Ruther left turn.
Yeah, this is a typical Andy Ruther left turn because I like sex and I like to talk about it. So here's the deal. We have documented on this show why I'm rooting for Team Mexico, who had the
party.
Huge huge upset
Yeah.
of the defending World Cup champs, Germany. Again, I did not watch it. I'm a terrible Mexican fan. Unlike the actual hardworking Mexican people, I slept in. So I am not representing Team Mexico well. They had the huge escort, hooker, whatever you want to call it, party. They're coming off that high. They upset Germany. Now, Germany, on the other hand, coach had issued an ultimatum, no sex. So then it begs the question, the team that parties with hookers wins. The team that's ordered the ultimatum, no sex, gets upset. Dare I say, you should be having more sex.
I mean, seems to be working. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is that a Rutherism right there?
That is an actual quote, so it's not a Rutherism.
Okay, good. I mean, look, I read the article that you sent me about that, and I saw the Romario, another Brazilian great, was basically telling some of those players on Brazil to go out and have. I think he used the translation was enough sex.
Yes,
but I don't know what that means. What does enough sex mean?
Well, my take is this: when I have a lot of sex, maybe a binge sex,
a lot. Like a lot, guys.
No, but this is important. If I have a lot of sex the next day, I do not want to work out because I think I've released everything and the testosterone, right? Like
says the guy who bikes by the Golds.
You've gotten that out of your system, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think what's the guy's name you just quoted? Romario?
Yeah, Romario.
I think that's a good point. Like maybe once or twice. But you can't be busting a nut 5 times and then go play a World Cup game the next day.
It's I think it's interesting. I don't really. I think it feels like a routine thing. The thing that I would bring into this equation, the value add from me is that there was Vegas was dealing with this issue a little bit because clubs used to have that's where a lot of athletes would come in during their off season and they would want to have sex and the place would hook up, and that's where you'd go out to the club to meet people.
Yeah.
But now with the rise of social media and apps and stuff, that's gone away. People don't even go out anymore.
Yeah.
So now the clubs are asking the guys to come to the clubs, and the guys are like, no.
Well, they say that bringing the Vegas thing in, they said that's one of the reasons that the Vegas Golden Knights did so well.
That incredible home ice advantage because people are coming in for 24 hours and partying and stuff.
Exactly.
I don't think people think about that at all, or nearly enough.
Yeah.
The Raiders are going to dominate.
Oh, yeah. That's actually going to be fun. The more I think about it. Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? I think all the prude countries are going to not have sex. It's a typical German. Doesn't that feel like a typical German response?
But it does. The sex, you do feel good about yourself. I will, we all know that's why they always say sex in the morning. It sets the tone. It does. This is, guys, take the physical act out of it. I'm talking about the psychological side. It sets the tone for your day. I feel good. You feel good. We all feel good. If you bust one nut in the morning, for lack of a better term, you feel good the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know, it's been so long. Married now.
I don't know how that confidence works for the players, but I thought that was an interesting article about the disparity between the two teams.
Well, there's so much. There's so much analysis. People are measuring sleep and things like that. I feel like this is just a natural progression to perfecting yourself as an athlete. Having a sex cycle.
True.
Right? I feel like if I have sex 2 days before my performance, you should almost have a sex therapist on staff at the NBA, being like, I'm just going to have sex 2 days before a game, X player is going to have sex and I want you to study this throughout the year.
I think you're right. I think all jokes aside, I think where we're headed and how we have fine-tuned every little,
it's the real thing.
Every little part of athletes and making them better physically, mentally, whatever it is. I think that will be I think in the future, within the next 10 years, each team will have a sex physician, a Dr. Ruth type person, whatever it is on each team who will tell them the best ways to maximize their performance involving sex.
You might even see that in like summer leagues, like or whatever, summertime, just sort of like you're creating variables. Like, player X is going to have sex once a week, player Y. I mean, I think we're onto something here. Brad Stevens is probably already doing this.
It affects my I'll be honest. I have abstained from fornication the last 2 weeks, and I've looked how it's affected me versus going on like, whatever, like a binge of like hooking up with girls.
How does it affect a supreme athlete
like me?
Yourself?
It does affect it though. The last 2 weeks, I have basically busted my ass working out every day. 2 weeks prior than that, no. If I'm getting laid, I'm not. So that does, again, that's just me, and obviously I'm not a professional athlete. But my point is, if I'm having a lot of sex or if I'm hooking up, I don't want to work out the next day.
I think we're onto something.
I think we are.
I think they should name it the Ruther Coker study.
The Ruther Coker study.
Yeah.
It's like the Keynesian.
It is. It is like Keynesian. Good job. And that was nice.
Hey, Tug, I know more than you think. There's a lot. Granted, I did call the wrong show when I opened this whole show up, but you know what? Shit happens.
Yeah.
All right. So
can we put some closure on World Cup before we move on?
Go for it.
Without, because you know so little, and I like to prey on the public when I'm like gambling on sports. Are there teams you even watched a second? You only see things on social media. Who do you like so far in the World Cup? Who do you like to go all the way? Who do you like to make a deep run?
Who do I like to make a deep run?
Yeah. So all the dirtballs out there can like put our money against this. We can
Team Mexico, baby. I said I was with them.
Oh no.
Team Mexico's making it to the Final Four.
Oh no, Mexico's in trouble.
Dude, they got all the girls,
man.
They're
in trouble now. They're cursed.
They're in a tougher bracket though.
They are, but they beat the best team. I mean, they beat Germany. I don't think Germany has any reason to really worry. I think they're still probably
sure.
I mean, Mexico is. I looked at the Vegas odds. Mexico is a favorite to get out of that group at number 1, but like, I mean, Germany's good enough to get out of there, make some noise. Obviously, they're going to make a deep run. So I kind of like France. I just want to say Peru plays France tomorrow, and Peru I thought should have beaten Denmark.
Okay,
they played really well, but I just think France is kind of dangerous. I just feel like they're a team that's really athletic, really talented. I like Giroud with his headband wrap, and I like Benzema. I like Pogs. It's like I'm probably just making up. Ribéry, is he still on the team? I don't think so. But I just think that they're probably going to lose tomorrow to Peru in an upset. But
where's the Kyrie Irving doppelganger? That's Panama.
Panama.
I mean, he looks just like Kyrie Irving.
It was uncanny.
Like he's spot on. Looks like Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I mean,
okay.
if you walk to the end of the earth,
okay. Here's a question. Here's a question. Good joke, by the way. I totally caught that.
Thank you.
Here's a question. Who has a better chance of winning an NBA title in the next 5 years? The guy from Panama or Kyrie Irving?
An NBA title?
I'm just saying.
I don't understand.
What I'm saying is no LeBron, no title for Kyrie.
Really? Is that?
That's an Andy Ruther hot take right there.
Are we transitioning to NBA now? We
can transition to NBA, Tug, but before we do that, I just want to say, get your tickets for any sports events on SeatGeek. Tug, I don't know if you've used it, but we have a great promo code which gets $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. And here's the best part, Tug. You, as we discussed earlier, are an actor, a thespian.
Thank you.
I know you're into that whole Broadway thing. All those events are available on SeatGeek. It's not just sports. You can go to concerts, comedy shows. SeatGeek, the only place that I go to, guys. What I love about SeatGeek is that every purchase is fully guaranteed, so you can shop for tickets on SeatGeek with full confidence. You get your most bang for your buck. SeatGeek grades every ticket based on value. They do a color code, which makes it very easy to identify the best seats for your budget. And like I said, best of all the listeners, that's you guys, get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Write this down, dirtballs. Just download the SeatGeek app, go to the settings tab, and click enter a promo code. And our promo code is DIRTY. That's promo code DIRTY for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase.
Andy.
Yes, sir.
I used it.
You used it?
I really did. I just want to say, quickly that I used it for a concert. I know there's some real music fans that are dirtballs out there. I see them on Twitter. I used it to go to the Troubadour to see an artist named Kevin Morby. So shout out to all the dirtballs out there that like Kevin Morby. I went and saw an unbelievable show, the Troubadour, and it was compliments of SeatGeek. So thank you.
Well, Tug, that's the best way to get into the NBA discussion. The draft is tomorrow.
Draft preview right here.
Right here.
Hot.
Hot take.
Super hot.
Super hot. On fire.
I mean, I think I've been following a lot of stuff on social media, a lot of experts, and this is one of the I think this is going to be one of the craziest drafts in years.
Why do you say that?
I just feel like there's not a lot of confidence from the prognosticators that have firm beliefs where players are going. They think that there's a lot of trading up, a lot of trading down. I don't think people outside of Ayton, is that his name?
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton, who they think is like an A, who I'm still wondering if he is an A, like an A player.
Well, from what I've seen on Ayton, all the analysts are basically saying he's a bona fide star.
I saw like some Hakeem comparisons. Which okay.
Hakeem Olajuwon?
No, Hakeem Jenkins. Yes, yeah.
But you said Hakeem.
I'm sorry. I was referring to the earlier. He threw the H in later.
Did he?
Yeah, there was an A to H transition.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Praino would have known that.
Yeah, you guys are older than me. I'm a little young buck. Okay.
That's true.
So they're saying he's going to go number one. Obviously, he played for Arizona. So he'd stay at home basically for the Suns at one. And I agree. It's kind of a clusterfuck after that, right?
I heard rumors tonight that Atlanta's trying to trade out of the 3 spot.
Well, Atlanta has a ton of picks.
They do.
Atlanta has, what do they have? They have, I think I saw 3 picks in the top 30, I believe. I don't know if I'm exactly accurate on that, but I think I was looking over things today. They have a lot of picks. So they want to get rid of the 3rd pick. You said to trade up?
Trade out, actually. Trade down, I think. So
okay.
I think there's sort of. I think that's sort of the issue with a lot of these insiders. There's just so many moves happening. I heard today that Sacramento's torn between Bagley and Doncic. So
Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
So he is a Serbian. He currently plays for Real Madrid.
Yeah, very good year.
By the way, when you can't name, can we just talk about that? You can't name the soccer team and the basketball team the same name.
Same city.
Doesn't
that's
matter.
tough. I agree. The same city because like
like doing the Los Angeles Lakers for basketball and football and baseball.
I agree.
Whatever.
I think that's difficult. I think we do have the New York Giants and the San Francisco Giants, but this is different. This is the same area code.
So Europe, just end that shit. Just that's the Andy Ruther shout out.
I haven't seen anything on this guy. Have you seen anything besides a highlight? I mean, this guy he's obviously he's much bigger than Rubio, but like
he's 6'8".
Yeah.
Everybody is saying that this again. Look, what do we know? Like at the end of the day,
exactly.
They're all saying again, this guy is again going to be a star. I don't trust anybody out of Europe still. Now we've seen way more success. Like I don't think anybody saw Porzingis being what he turned into.
Yeah, Porzingis really is. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, minus the injury proneness that he has. But I'm looking at my cheat sheet here. I like the Ringer. I like to go to theringer.com. Whoever's doing this says shades of. Again, this is just shades of James Harden, Jumbo, Manu Ginobili, and Tyreek Evans. Now let's be honest. James Harden and Tyreek Evans. Those are like those are 2 different levels.
I know. And the thing is, I was really high on Tyreek coming out. I like the Ringer as well because I really like Kevin O'Connor. He's like one of the few people last year that liked Tatum more than Fultz.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of arguments, obviously, about the Celtics are making a mistake not grabbing Fultz. I think we've seen that's probably fine. But so I trust this site as well.
Well, that's the thing. I like and they rank them basically 1 to 100. And this is by your guy Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah.
So who knows though? Now, I did get you and I are more college basketball guys. I did get to see a lot of these guys play. Like I got to see Bagley play a lot, obviously because of Duke. But he's another one. Like do we look at, is Marvin Bagley going to be another Jahlil Okafor?
Okafor it's a funny comp because I have the same thing. I think he's more athletic than Okafor, but I think where the Okafor comp comes in for me is this is the first year that I can ever remember where Duke played zone.
That's a good point.
And so who's the cause for them going to zone? It's not Wendell Carter, who I think is a good defender. Is it Grayson Allen? But Grayson Allen's played for that system for 4 years. Is it Bagley? Like my fears with Bagley, I think he's an offensive stud. I think he maybe could be like what's their comp?
For Bagley, shades of Amari Stoudemire, slim Zach Randolph, and Michael Beasley.
See, I see some Stoudemire. I see like Anton Jameson a little bit.
That's disrespectful to Michael Beasley, by the way. That guy is so out there, like mentally.
Yeah.
I love Michael Beasley
for
how fucking loony he is. Anyway,
my question is like defense. Like, is he going to get exposed defensively? Can he guard bigs and smalls? And like when you get into crunch time, is he going to be able to be on the floor because he can't guard? That's just the question I have.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You can never tell, I think. Like I said, I liked Bagley, what I saw during the year, but I feel like these big men, you don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of these guys, like I said, Okafor, or even who was the other Okafor from Connecticut? Emeka?
Yeah. Emeka Okafor.
Emeka?
Yeah.
But that's my point. Like, those guys.
You're just generalizing Okafors right now. Amazing.
That's the Andy Ruther hot take. The Okafors have been overrated. But no, but my point is those guys didn't validate how high they were picked. Agreed?
I think that's the thing about drafting. It's always
like this is my opinion, Tug. If you're a top three NBA draft pick, you have to validate how good you are with a top 3 pick.
Emeka was solid. I mean, I think he was on the Olympic team in 2004, which was a terrible Olympic team, but won a national championship. But and it was serviceable for a long time.
But that's my point. Like, there's a difference between being serviceable and you're a top 3 pick.
I think you do want this. I think you do want
to be a star.
You want franchise changers.
Yeah,
in that top 3-4 range.
Well, let's talk about Duke for a minute.
Yeah,
because they got a few guys that I find curious and interesting. Obviously, we're talking about Bagley. What do you think about Wendell Carter?
I do like him. I like him. I think he might need a couple years to mature, but I think he's got a big wingspan. I think it's like 7'6". I think he can guard, and I think he can get better as a shooter. He already shot some threes. Didn't shoot a lot, but that's a big component for. I think he's like a 4 and 5 position, and so I think he could be solid. I think he considered going to Harvard before he ended up going to Duke.
Okay.
And so he's an intelligent guy. And sometimes that can be a problem for coaches, but in the right system, I think like the Jaylen Brown, who's really intelligent, going to Boston, I think he could flourish. So I'm excited to see what he does. And Kevin O'Connor, my guy, he thinks that he could be ultimately better than Bagley. So,
interesting. And then we got to bring up Grayson Allen.
Well, again, the zone thing is so interesting to me because Coach K has been coaching forever. And this is the first year I've ever seen him go to zone. So what's the reasoning behind going to zone?
Can Grayson Allen, you just mentioned serviceable. Can Grayson Allen be a serviceable, he's going to come off the bench, get you some threes in the NBA?
I think so. I mean, it's one of those weird careers where it's sort of it went in reverse. Like he was so dominant, he was so good. I wouldn't say dominant, but he was really, really good in the championship game his freshman year that they won.
Yeah,
he should have gone pro then. He played so well, and then his career's kind of like it never peaked anymore. He kind of peaked after his freshman year, getting in more trouble. I mean, I think he's going to get targeted in the NBA. People are going to be going for him. Like, I think is he as good a shooter as Redick? I mean, what's his comp?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. You got to bring up JJ Redick. I did not think Redick has had a better NBA career than I predicted. Now, Redick was a top 10 pick, right?
I'm not sure what he was, but he's also
where'd he go? Orlando?
I think he had the bulk of his career. I don't know if he started in Orlando, but that's where he did.
I want to
some
say
damage,
he was I could be wrong on this. I want to say JJ Redick was like a 7 or 8 pick, but I also don't think I think Grayson Allen first of all, Grayson Allen, we can agree, brings way more baggage and what the name he made himself for Duke, as far as people want to go after him, like you're saying, versus a JJ Redick.
I mean, JJ Redick's from Virginia. I'm from Virginia. Like, I heard about JJ Redick when he was like 16, 17, and this kid like had multiple thousands of points. I mean, even at Duke, I think he was like over 2,000 points. This dude he filled it up. I mean, better. I think he's a better shooter than Grayson Allen. So Grayson Allen needs to be a knockdown shooter. I think a lot of his stuff, like
Kyle Korver type guy,
like Korver. I don't think he has the size of Korver, but like he needs to he was just a guy to get to the line a lot. I mean, he had like a little bit of Harden game in him.
Yeah,
where he just tried to, get to the line and make buckets. I think he's going to. I'm curious. I hear the Celtics like him a lot. As a Celtics fan, I'm curious to see how that would work out. I mean, he just has so much, like you said, baggage. He was the 11th overall pick by the Magic in the 2006 NBA draft.
Oh, he was 11th.
Still lottery.
Yeah. I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't touch Grayson Allen unless second round, maybe.
Another comp. I mean, my friend always make fun of me when people do like the color comp, like white guy to white guy,
but you have to.
But I'm gonna break that barrier someday. But Bobby Sura is a guy that I think of with Grayson Allen from Florida State, who played a nice serviceable career.
No, but see, Bobby Sura, he was more of a playmaker, right?
Grayson Allen's a pretty good playmaker. I mean,
is he?
Yeah.
With Sura, I think more of passing, assists, creating the offense. I just, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think of that when I think of Grayson Allen. I think of more, some big money threes, some big money shots. I don't know.
Speaking of the college game, we'll move out of that. But everyone kind of gets on Calipari for doing this one and done thing. Like the quality of player that Coach K is putting through right now, with like Tatum, Bagley, Carter. I mean, I heard next year's class is unbelievable. I mean, he has a bunch of championships. He's as good as the best coach, if not, one of the greats.
Sure.
But you can't be losing in the Elite Eight with this kind of talent. You can't be losing the Sweet 16 with Jason Tatum after Jason Tatum basically goes toe to toe with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, but is that more of a? I guess let me put it this way: would you give more credit to Brad Stevens, what he got out of someone like a Tatum, versus what? In a full year in the NBA where you're playing 82 games versus a completely new freshman walking in to college with Coach K and all these other random guys. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. I hear that. I just feel like Coach K is that good of a coach. I feel like
in my opinion, I think it's a little more difficult to get those guys to gel in college than, again, a longer NBA season. But who knows?
Do you see like a Tatum in the draft? Do you see anybody? Not necessarily Tatum, but like a guy that can do damage in the first year, Donovan Mitchell kind of thing.
You know who I like, man, is and again I'm biased because I got to see him play a lot. I like Mikal Bridges from Villanova.
Yeah.
I like that I believe he's a junior. He did 3 years. He's got the length. He can shoot. He can stretch the floor. They have him on here 10th overall. They compare him to Robert Covington, Eddie Jones, Tony Snell. He can play defense. He's got a good wingspan. He's 6'7". Yeah, he played 3 years.
My sources say that NBA execs like him a lot.
I like Bridges a lot.
I think he's good. And the guys that they're comping sound like that. It's a good fit. Like that. No stars in that comp, but just good pros.
That's what I'm saying. And I think somebody like Bridges is a guy who can just you find him open. He's gonna drain the three. Like I like that with him. And to be honest, we just talked about Duke guys. I'd like to talk about some of the Nova guys. Because they have some interesting guys going out. Jalen Brunson, who was like your hard-nosed, great, all-around great, right, Tug, college player.
Very good. Very good.
But he lacks the size, he lacks the shooting ability, but he would always find a way to win, find a way to score, find a way to create offense. Where does somebody like a Jalen Brunson fit in the NBA? Where does somebody like a Dante DiVincenzo fit?
Because I love Dante DiVincenzo.
You love
the last time I was here, back in like April, I just come from the national championship. I saw him go off for 31. I was there at the game.
Yeah.
I saw him beat UVA the year before with a tip in late, and I'm hearing it sound like Chris Broussard. I'm hearing that people loved him at the combine,
at the NBA combine.
Yeah, one of the best players at the combine. Got incredible. I think he had the second highest vertical of all players at the combine.
Defying stereotypes.
And I think he's just, to me, I mean, I love Mitch McGary, and Mitch McGary took Michigan to the championship game, or a part of the team that went.
Oh, there's no comparison athletically.
Well, Mitch McGary is very athletic, but he just never panned out for the Thunder. Now he's a bowler.
These are according to Kevin O'Connor on TheRinger.com, shades of Jody Meeks, Courtney Lee, Nick. How do you pronounce his last name? Nick.
Stauskas.
Stauskas.
Yeah.
I can't even say that word.
I don't like this. I'd quibble with Kevin O'Connor on that, because I think he's going to go higher. I think people are going to get curious about Dante DiVincenzo, and this is my one thing to look out for tomorrow night. I think he goes higher. I think we might even see him as a late lottery. He's one of those guys. I think he's so intriguing to execs. It's almost like a quarterback in the NBA, where they're like, we just got to have this guy.
Yeah,
it's like when Elway reached for what's his name?
Paxton Lynch.
Paxton Lynch. Yeah. Just because he's a freak. I think someone's going to reach for Dante DiVincenzo, and I think it's going to pay off.
I like him, and more importantly, I mean, the guy was tweeting about banging girls at like age 13.
God, I know.
No, he was tweeting about getting his asshole licked at 13.
Yes, I remember that.
But you would say he's got confidence. I mean, all jokes aside, if a guy's really getting his ass eaten at 13, I mean, no joke. If you're getting your ass eaten at 13, you are a confident individual. We just talked about sex in sports. He's going to bring that to the basketball court.
I think. Well, yeah, he's definitely got confidence. He's got swag. The dude has swag. I think he's going. I'm excited to see what he does. I think he's going to be really good.
Dude, people might have. Hopefully they haven't forgotten, because it wasn't that long ago. You were at the Final Four.
I was.
That Nova team, and obviously we just talked about 3 of their stars, was stacked. I mean that Nova team is one of the best teams I've seen as far as an all-around good college basketball team.
Yeah.
They were loaded.
Really good. I mean, I think I compared it to the Florida team, and people are making comparisons to Florida again, just to bring it full circle with the Carter Bagley. They call it like the Horford Noah sort of situation.
Interesting.
Like that team was also. I think they're better. I think Villanova was better than that Florida team, which had 3 pros.
Yeah.
That walked right on there. I think they're gonna have three or more pros from the Villanova team this year.
Now we got to bring up Trae Young.
Yeah.
He's without a doubt the wild card, the most interesting draft. Is he the next Steph Curry, or is he just a 8 points off the bench type of guy? You know, who is Trae Young? What is he going to be? What are your thoughts? Because there's so many mixed opinions on him.
I think I'm pretty cloudy on what I think he's going to be as well. I can't get past his hair. His hair it gives me a lot of pause. I think he needs to shave his head. And let's start with that. I really care about cosmetics when I'm looking at.
You know what? I'm gonna agree. I don't like his look.
Yeah, I just want him to get a little slick, a little cooler, a little tougher.
Look, this is coming from a 36-year-old guy who has. Well, my lines have actually grown in. I need to redo them. But bro, you got to get some lines. Trae Young needs fresh lines.
Yeah, so let's start with that. I watched Oklahoma play a lot this year because my parents both went to Oklahoma, and the guy's obviously he can get loose. I mean, there's no doubt, but like I'd be hesitant to take him. I really would.
I would too.
Yeah.
Is he? Which Curry is he? Is he Steph Curry or is he Seth Curry? I think that's a legitimate question.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Dell. I don't know. I think he's not Steph, but Steph's. I'm going Steph to me, and we talked about this on our text with Praino sometimes. Like, I think Steph should be recognized as like one of the greats in NBA history. I mean,
Steph Curry.
Yeah, definitely.
He is.
Like all time.
He is.
I don't think he's getting that kind of respect yet.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's already got 3 rings. 2 regular season MVPs. He's the best shooter in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
He's going to shatter all those records.
Someone showed like the way people's stats are improved with Steph Curry. They're playing with Steph Curry, like I want to say plus minus with Steph Curry on the floor, and like every single player is better when Steph Curry's on the floor.
Well, you brought up the point that I'm just going to say. That's a perfect point. Every single player is better when Steph Curry's on the floor. Let's take it back a notch to when he played at Davidson. Steph Curry took a mid-major team, Davidson, to the Elite Eight. Steph Curry was putting up 30-point games in tough tournament games with literally white dudes, honestly. Like who was Steph Curry playing with at Davidson? He was playing with the guy who's going to be an accountant or a lawyer.
That white point guard who was pretty, I can't remember his name, but he was also pretty good, but obviously not Steph Curry.
But this is my point. This is my point exactly. Steph Curry took a bunch of frat kids to the Elite Eight on his back, right? At Davidson.
Yeah.
A liberal arts school in what, North Carolina?
Yep.
Trae Young went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
A big name school in a power conference. I believe they got as high as top 3 last year.
I think they lost like 11 of their last 12 games.
And that's my point. Yeah. And they were one and done in the NCAA tournament. So to me, again, if we want to base it on that, the comparisons from Steph Curry to Trae Young, they end right there because one player took his team far and one with way less talented people, and then like you just said, has made his teammates so much better in the NBA. I don't think Trae Young's that guy. I wouldn't go near him, especially not with that haircut.
The one thing I'll ask is, at what point does it become a value pick? Like, let's say he slides. Like, are you taking him if he's like 20?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm saying I'm not taking personally, me, and I saw him play too, and for all the things I just said, I don't take Trae Young in the top 10.
The thing about point guards, I'm trying to name a point. What's a point guard that came out early? Like Steph Curry was a junior, I think, when he came out. Trae Young's a freshman.
Yeah.
So when's the last time, and feel free to hit me up on Twitter or to just tell me now, like when's the last point guard that was great that came out? Was Chris Paul awesome his first year? Like, but he played a couple years I think he played at least 2 years at Wake Forest.
Well, Chris Paul was really good. Chris Paul.
I'm trying to think who dominated. Well, my point is, there's so many good point guards in the NBA right now, and it's such a heady position. I think it's just hard to come out and be awesome.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That first year. So, like, if there's a team that's looking for, like, you need a couple years with him, I think. If you give him a chance at all. I don't know anything about his defense. Remember when Jimmer went, like, I'm sure Praino can talk to me for days about the Jimmer pick.
We actually have an update from Praino. He texted both. I don't know if you saw us. We have a live update from Joe Praino, who's currently in the YouTube feed right now. Shout out to No Chill. He says DiVincenzo plus D'Antoni equals the chip. It sounds like No Chill.
I actually love that, Praino. I love that call. If he dips down to Houston, I mean, that'd be fun to watch. I mean, Houston, everyone knows Houston needs a bench right now. Oh, my God.
Imagine DiVincenzo coming off the bench. Or can you imagine DiVincenzo with those open threes?
He came off the bench for Villanova.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He didn't start for Nova, guys. He was their third leading scorer.
I really like. I mean, I can see like the cold takes Twitter coming after me for like, repping DiVincenzo, but like I really believe in that kid after watching him dismantle Michigan, play some big games early in the year. He seems like kind of ruthless.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about who else I love out of that draft. I mean, can you scroll through that real?
Sure. Yeah. Who are some of the
how about Mo Bamba?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
He went to what, Texas?
Yep.
They have him at 6.
Apparently everyone's sort of lying. Remember in the NFL draft when everyone but Baker was going number 1? I think there's a lot of that happening in the NBA right now.
Okay.
People are floating people that they want, and then you're going to see some moves for some people. And I think Mo Bamba is one of those guys. I think
you like Bamba.
I think I'm not saying that I necessarily love him. I think people
Bamba.
are super. That's never been done before. Never been done.
How many times has that been done?
Yeah,
how many times has that been done?
But I think Mo Bamba is one of those guys that people are going to reach for, and like I got to see what this guy's going to do. I got to see what Mo Bama's got. So I expect him to maybe go into that 4 or 5 range, but
well, that's what they have. I mean, they have him right around there. They have him at 6th. I mean, bro, his wingspan, 7 feet 10 inches.
Yeah,
that's a big wingspan.
Yeah.
Did you see him play at Texas?
No, I didn't see much of Texas, and I can't. You know, I'm curious about. I wish I would have watched it a little more closely because him playing in a Shaka Smart system, which is just all hostile run and gun up and down, like it doesn't seem like to be the perfect fit to me. So he's probably. I mean, I've seen some things around social media, but he seems like an obvious player to be better in the pros than in college.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he'll definitely do better in the NBA. What do you think about Colin Sexton? He's an interesting one.
I don't really know much about. I mean, like I know he was coached by Avery Johnson, so he's probably got some pro mentality. But I know he's a good scorer, but I don't really have like the in-depth knowledge on Colin Sexton that I should.
Look, he's an in-depth. He's a good scorer. He went to Bama. Who's the last good player out of Bama? Who's the last good? Where did Antonio McDyess go?
Alabama.
Alabama.
Say yeah.
So McDyess went to Bama. He's the last good like NBA player.
I'm sure there's one that we're missing, but I can't. My brain's not going to go that deep.
Where did Latrell Sprewell go?
Oh, that's a good call. I'm sure
Praino's losing his mind. I want.
Are you kidding me?
I want to say Sprewell went to Bama too. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Can we talk about
But the point is he's another point guard, and I agree with what you just said earlier, Tug, as far as the point guard position.
Like Dennis Smith was supposed to be the guy from this year's draft, and I think he did fine. But like it just takes a couple of years for these guys. Like the NBA point guards are so it's just so loaded right now. Like if you're not even a good point guard coming out of college, you have no shot. But like unless you're Dellavedova.
Yeah.
But
so he did. We already have feedback from Praino in the YouTube comment section.
Praino
heard us. So Sprewell did go to Bama. So did Robert Horry.
He was a 90 to 92, and Horry's probably around that time as well.
Well, Robert Horry's the GOAT because he has 7 rings.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta throw my boy Praino some love.
I know, God. I mean,
you get sick of that?
It's amazing.
It's amazing to
watch. It's exhausting to watch. It's just like Game of Thronesing trolls out there with his stuff. But
Praino's a master at it, though.
He is.
Man.
He is a master.
I don't have the time or energy.
NBA obviously. Even though I love college, I consider myself to be more of an NBA fan. But as much as I'm watching the draft, I think it'll be wild. I think we'll see some players move tomorrow. The Kawhi thing, as a Celtics fan, I'm really, really watching closely. LeBron, obviously, things we're watching closely.
Well, I was just telling you before we started the episode, the current Las Vegas odds, not that this means anything.
It does. To me, it does.
Okay, to you it does. The current Las Vegas odds have both Kawhi and LeBron going to the Lakers. Now, did you see the picture of Popovich and Kawhi having a glass of wine?
I didn't see that, but I did see the report today that basically.
You didn't see the picture?
No, I want to see it, but I saw Kawhi basically told him straight up, "I want out of San Antonio." And you saw tonight a Woj bomb that I think the let me pull it up now. The Lakers acquired the 39th pick in the draft from the Sixers.
So what does that mean?
So that tells people that like they're kind of stocking up to make moves.
The Lakers are.
Yes. Now everyone, and I believe this. Why would Popovich? It's such an interesting position because
look at this picture.
Yeah,
it's a lovely picture.
What is it?
They're at a restaurant and they're having a glass of wine, and Kawhi,
white wine.
Kawhi is looking down. Papa's looking at him straight in the face. Kawhi's got his cornrows. Pop looks very serious in his khaki shorts. I think it's a lost cause for him to be in San Antonio.
Well, look, they had the meeting, and then the Lakers acquire the 39th pick. I mean, I think there's this, it's there's a lot of information being funneled from the Kawhi camp to the places of interest, meaning the Lakers. So to me, in my opinion, the Lakers are stocking up to make a move. I don't think Popovich would ever. Why it doesn't make sense for them to move Kawhi to a Western Conference foe. But the problem is, it's a 1 year. It's a 1 year loan everywhere else in the league. If we already know Kawhi is going to go there, it's like a game of chicken. Because Kawhi's like, I'm going to get moved, but then I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. Their job is to announce we're leaving. We're not re-signing with anyone but the Lakers. He's basically trying to force the hand of the Spurs, saying, "Move me to the Lakers." And if you don't, I'm going to go to the other team.
And you're going to get nothing in return.
And I'm going to leave.
Yeah, you're right. It's a game of chicken. With you want to get something back
because even the Celtics, who I think have the pieces to make the move. I mean, as a Celtics fan, I don't. People forget how good Kawhi is. I mean, I think people forget that because he's been gone for most of the year. I like Jaylen Brown. I love seeing the progression of his talents. I don't want to lose him. But, like, there's no guarantee that either Kyrie – there's rumors of Kyrie to New York next year. You know, there's rumors.
But as a Celtics fan, Tug, you have to look at your team and say, we didn't have Kyrie. We didn't have Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
We made it –
Daniel Tice.
All the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference
Larkin.
Finals.
We didn't have Shane Larkin for the Western Conference Finals.
Shout out to Barry Larkin, bobblehead over there. But my point is, what Brad Stevens did, we all know what he did was remarkable.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal job with those young pieces. If I'm the Celtics, why do you want to mess with any of that? Like, personally, they have so many good young pieces, and two of their stars didn't even play. Why trade any of those people?
Danny Ainge made a good point where, you know, after Game 7 they lost, and they said, look, you know, people made this. They believe the Boston community believe that we are good enough to beat Cleveland and also like Golden State. But like I remember why we went and got Kyrie. I remember why we went and got Gordon Hayward. Like we need those guys to get to the next step. I mean, you know, if you want to be really ruthless,
they needed. For sure, in Game 7, the Celtics, they needed a guy.
It was the first time I ever saw why we needed Kyrie, a guy who could get a bucket.
Exactly.
And, you know,
a guy could get his own.
Rozier wasn't great. It was the first time that Rozier wasn't very good at home in the playoffs.
He choked.
Yeah, I mean,
for lack of a better term, I hate that it gets overused.
Yeah.
Rozier, the young guys.
He didn't play great.
Tatum played great again.
Yeah.
But Rozier straight up laid an egg.
If you want to be ruthless, like I don't think it'll happen, but you could move Gordon Hayward. Like you could move Gordon Hayward in the Kawhi Leonard deal. Because also the Celtics also have the Sacramento Kings 2019 pick. Think about that. They have the Kings pick next year, which is going to be a top 5 pick. I think it's top 1 protected. And they also have the 2020 Memphis Grizzlies first round pick. Danny Ainge is unbelievable, is what I'm saying.
I've been saying how good he is for a while now.
And so I'm trying to trust Danny in whatever he does. But what I'm saying is I think he understands how to see the forest for the trees. I think he can see the big picture. So when we're all like, you know, do we need Kawhi? I think he's probably smart enough to know like whether we do or not.
But what about the injury? You know, that is a thing. I mean, is there a concern? Kawhi's coming off his first big injury season.
I think there's a concern, but I think like some of it's a little bit playing possum. I mean, that you know, Tony Parker, when he came out and kind of said like this, I had this injury. I was healthy like months ago, you know, relatively. I think Kawhi's fine. I'm not the best person to think about this because remember when Kevin Durant hurt his foot a couple years ago? I thought Kevin Durant would never be the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly. I think it's worth taking a shot because you're still pretty loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still pretty loaded. But I don't know. I totally trust Danny. I think we get him. I'll roll with it, and if not,
do you think there will be a ton of moves made pre-draft and during draft?
I think they'll be during the draft. I'd like to see that kind of this. Remember when Anthony Hardaway and Webber got traded for each other?
I was a little young, but
you weren't that young. What are you talking about?
I was young.
Where's Praino for this? But
I mean, I was like 11 or something.
94.
Was it 94?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been 12 going on 13.
It's like the prime NBA years. It's like when everyone.
I also grew up in I didn't, just so you know, growing up, in Cincinnati, it's not an NBA city, especially pre-LeBron days.
Yeah.
Like, it's all college basketball.
What's the old Cincinnati pro team basketball?
The Royals.
The Royals. That's right.
I mean, my old man still tells me stories about going to see Oscar Robertson play for the Royals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about tomorrow night. Like I like both drafts, NFL and NBA. I like the NBA because it's tight. It's like
I do too.
2 hours.
I do too, and it starts.
You know?
It'll start now. I know I don't do the World Cup, but 4 p.m.
You've just gotten up. You're making your eggs.
I make killer eggs, by the way.
Oh, good.
I should make them for you sometime.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
A little dirty sports overnight. We can wake up. We can watch a little World Cup.
Dirty sports slumber party. Is that the next level of fandom? Like, you pay a certain amount of money. Wasn't Praino like? Isn't a crisp $100 bill get you anything?
So no. Hold on. Not anything.
Hey, you heard it here first.
Doug, you always hold on. You're the one who started that. No, a crisp $100 bill gets you a live appearance in the Smut Studio to watch it. Now, if you want to have a slumber party in a onesie with me, $250.
$250. Okay.
You can sleep on my couch. No, you know what? We'll make it a crisp $2 $100 bills.
Wow. Negotiate against yourself.
Yeah.
I love it.
So for 2 crisp $100 bills, and I'll cook you the Andy Ruther. You want to hear what the Andy Ruther eggs are?
I've been dying to hear this.
So it's all Trader Joe's products. I get some of those nice. I've been LA-ified, for lack of a better term. Those nice cage-free brown organic eggs. They do taste the best too, by the way.
I agree.
Get some of those. I put in some turkey bacon. I put the turkey bacon into the oven. Cook 2 pieces of turkey bacon. Get 3 or 4 eggs. Put in some almond milk with that. Scramble them up. I also saute a little spinach.
Oh, my God.
Dice up some mushrooms.
Oh, my God.
Avocado. I put the spinach, the avocado, cut up the turkey bacon, put that all in the eggs. And then top it off with some pepper and also some of my favorite. Now, there's a couple different types of salsa, but I have a salsa for dipping my tortilla chips, and I have one for my eggs.
Is anyone still listening? This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. What is this, Martha Stewart? Jesus.
I'm telling you, this is like I like to cook now.
Yeah, the chew ended. No, we got that.
The chew ended?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
The ABC show that got canceled because of Mario Batali.
Yeah, nobody got that.
Sorry, guys.
Deep dive.
So 3 to 4 eggs.
3 to 4 eggs. I'm trying to be more on this paleo diet.
Yeah, I got a lot to learn.
Not paleo diet. What is it? The keto. Less carbs.
Is a keto for real? Do you feel some stuff? I've wanted to dabble in it.
I'm not full keto, but I'm definitely a lot of proteins and really try to reduce my carbs.
When you do keto, can you get into like is sausages or like fatty meats fine?
Yes,
it's totally fine
for the most part. Again, I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
I've listened to enough. Too bad Praino's not here to make fun of me. I've listened to enough Joe Rogan. I've also watched a documentary on it and watched other YouTube videos on it.
Sounds like you're an expert.
Basically, what happens is this. All those myths, I do know this, all those myths of back in the 90s and 2000s, the fat-free shit was bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not good. You need healthy fats. You need like almonds and nuts and avocados. Like, those are good healthy fats. But also, if I run, the truth is, Tug, if I run, and sometimes I'll do this, like the other day I ran 8 miles. If I run 8 miles, I can't go on no carbs all day.
Yeah.
My body's saying, give me some fucking carbs, bro. And I look at my body and I go, I'll get you a burrito, bro. And we fucking hit up that taco stand. And then I give the middle finger to all those fucks at Gold's Gym.
Wow, spiral.
That's what happens. Okay, Tug, let's let me give a few more takes on the NBA draft. Any potential busts that you see or sleepers? Anybody off the top of your head?
DiVincenzo.
You like DiVincenzo?
Sleeper. I'm hearing Devin Hall's name as like a second round, serviceable pro. He went to UVA. I do like his game. So that's someone that I think, depending on the situation, watch out for Devin Hall. Good 3-and-D guy. As a guy that's going to come in, I think make some noise.
Here's an Andy Ruther sleeper, Kyrie Thomas.
Yeah,
from Creighton.
Oh yeah, you love those sort of like Xavier-sized.
Well, yeah, again, because I'm biased. Because I've seen, I like his game. He's a junior, so he's played 3 years. Look, we all know it's the end of those type of players, 3-year guys. But I still think a lot of those guys do bring value.
Yeah. It's a good transition to the one and done rule, which I want to talk about in a second.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So the one and done rule, according to reports, will be changed by the 2021 draft.
Yeah. That's right, 2021.
So anybody can enter the draft by 2021. So basically 2 years from now. I'm sorry, 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Bad at math.
It's a Den report. What do you expect?
Now, what are your thoughts on this, Tug?
I'm fine. I think we've. What's the point of having the one and done? Like, what's the point? Was it because we're to dispel a couple of rumors because the pros want a little bit more maturity. I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
The pros want a little bit more maturity of the player when they come into the league, so they're not necessarily. They want even one more year to help develop, have some character in that person. Is that an issue?
No, I think it's one. I think the one and done rule has 100% been on the dumbasses running the NCAA.
That's right.
I'm not going to put this on the NBA. I'm going to put this all on the NCAA. They have clearly shown time and time again, whether it's basketball, football, you name it, they don't know what they're doing. All these stupid rules. The NBA has been running like a pretty well-operated machine for some time now.
Yeah.
From Stern to
Adam Silver.
Adam Silver. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Tug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're making all the right moves. And they made another great move, right? Silver already said it. We're going to make the D-League more competitive, higher pay. Like, they're already going to set things in motion to make this happen.
I love that. I love that idea. I think the one and done, from a fan perspective, because I totally get why the NCAA wants to hold on to the glamour stars and get people, its box office. But we haven't seen and Praino, I agree with him. Like, the quality of play is not good. How many of these players that we're currently looking at, like Michael Porter Jr., plays 3 games or 1 game and you see, like,
we didn't talk about him. What do you think of him, by the way?
I want to like him. You know why? Because I think he has nice hair.
You like the hair?
I think he's a handsome guy. But
yeah, his hair way better than.
Here's my comp. It's an auto comp. Rick Fox.
For Trae Young?
No. Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, Rick Fox.
Yeah, I think I'm curious. He came out of the number one. I think he was the number one player, or maybe him and Bagley. I think were 1-2 coming out of high school last year.
He goes to Mizzou. He gets injured.
Gets his dad to gets out of Washington. Goes to Mizzou.
It's an interesting choice, by the way. Have you ever been to Columbia, Missouri?
I went to a Steak and Shake.
That makes sense. That's Columbia, Missouri. I did a comedy show there once. At a fraternity booked me at a ballroom. I don't know if you want to call it a ballroom, a conference center at a Holiday Inn on campus.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I guess that's my point on Michael Porter is I have no clue what he's going to be. I think he could be good, but if he does have, the rumor is he canceled his tryout with some teams because he got a guarantee he's going to go like top 5, top 6.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so look for that prospect. But the other flip side is you don't want a kid with back, hip, and knee injuries, when you're 19 years old.
Well, he also is a good guy to talk about because Michael Porter Jr. is now an official member of Puma.
Puma.
This is some crazy news, man. So Puma, the millennials are like, what the fuck is Puma?
Yeah.
They think it's literally we're talking about the cat.
Yeah.
We're talking about the shoe brand or the athletic apparel. Now has signed Michael Porter Jr., DeAndre Ayton, Bagley, and Zaire Smith. So Puma, not Nike, not Reebok, not Adidas, not Under Armour, not all the big dogs. Puma is signing all the top picks.
And Rudy Gay. First veteran. Rudy Gay signed today.
Rudy Gay.
Yep.
And they also have
they brought in Jay-Z.
Clyde. Is it Clyde Frazier?
Yep. And they had Vince Carter for 2 years.
Well, here's the reason.
Before he went to Nike.
Jay-Z.
Yeah. Jay-Z
is now the president of Puma basketball, whatever that means. Probably just means his name. But it's pretty, this is pretty big news, actually. I mean, I'm not a sneakerhead at all. In fact, I haven't owned a pair of basketball shoes probably since I was in the 8th grade. True story there. But, yeah. I don't own basketball shoes. So
what are you playing down at the Venice courts?
Reebok Classics.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about that for a quick minute.
Yeah, let's do it.
Me, the interns, Trevor, and EJ versus you and Praino.
Praino and I have had some side chats about this.
Okay.
Just diagramming some high lows, some pick and rolls. It's not going to be pretty. Let's just be honest.
Why do you say that?
Because you're playing Reebok Classics.
Because I play in Reebok Classics?
Yeah. I just don't like. Is EJ the tallest guy you have?
It's me.
You're the tallest guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm like a shade above 5'9".
I honestly don't think you'll score.
Well, here's my opinion on it. It's 3 against 2.
Yeah.
If I'm hitting my shots like I was last Friday, when I was just making it rain, I mean, it was an impressive feat. I wish I had somebody there filming me. If that's happening, you guys are in trouble. But the problem is the rebounds.
Yeah, there's no rebounds.
That's my biggest concern.
I mean, I think Praino tells me he plays defense like Scottie Pippen. So
Praino can defend.
Yeah, so
he's got and you guys both have the wingspan.
Yeah, and I play like Stacey Ogman, just to really date myself, Plastic Man.
So 2 all defensive
unbelievable
players.
Defensive players. I'm like Paul George defensively when I want to play.
I like the Stacey Ogman better.
Me too. I think I set the line at like 11-3 or 4. Like,
oh, you're setting at 11-3 to 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now here on Dirty Sports that the line is 3.5. Playing only ones, right? We're playing 1s and 2s.
1s and 2s.
Okay, so I'll change that to 5.5.
5.5. Tug Coker is setting the line. Joe Praino, Tug Coker versus me and the interns.
Yeah. You have to get the 5 and you have to get the 6, basically. A 6 is a win in Vegas for you.
For sure we get to 6.
No chance.
For sure
we
get to 6.
No chance.
In fact, I'll even one up you. I could play you in some phenomenal flag and anthem clothes, and we'd still get to 6.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I'm dressed like a slob today, but I'll tell you what, guys. I got a great new flag and anthem shirt. Last night I was rocking some of my slim fit black jeans. And some other gear. I don't know what it's called. But Flag and Anthem, guys, is where you should get all your gear. You can look as fresh as Joe and I do. We'll maybe get some Flag and Anthem gear.
I need some. Are you going to play in those black jeans?
Maybe. That's nice slim fit.
Yeah.
You can get them. You go to flagandanthem.com. You drop promo code DIRTY. You get 25% off your first order, Tug.
I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in.
With the get you Flag and Anthem gear with the beard, the flowing hair. I mean, you could model for them, Tug.
Oh yeah.
I think they need models. So Dirtballs, take advantage of this great offer right now. Go to flagandanthem.com, drop promo code DIRTY at checkout. That will get you 25% off your first order. And tweet at us and tweet at them when you get some clothes. I want to see how good you guys look. Shout out to everybody in the Midwest. Step up your game, guys. Don't look like me. Look like a fresh LA person.
It's a terrible look.
You don't like this look? It's kind of disrespectful to Praino because he did dye this shirt.
That's true. That's true.
It's a good tie-dye job.
Yeah.
You don't like the joggers in my Adidas?
You look like the girls in college. Who just lay around the lounge area, doing some work.
I'm dressed like a college girl?
Yeah, the sweats.
I love sweats, bro.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
You say that, but I was wearing these sweatpants the night I met the Israeli girls before the infamous Andy Ruther threesome. I'm just saying.
Wow.
It was basically this outfit.
Yeah. We're gonna play hoops. We'll figure out.
When do you want to play?
I told you that I'm trying to go to Europe for 10 days because I have a pipe dream to go to Wimbledon and then run with the Bulls.
I mean, this guy, Tug Coker, Wimbledon. Running of the Bulls?
If any of the Dirtballs out there have ever been to Pamplona and run with the Bulls, please hit me up on Twitter and tell me the things I need to know. Right now it's just sort of like it's just on a whim, but I want to do it. I want to be adventurous this summer. So
who are you doing this with?
My partner in crime from Now We're Talking, Tommy Dewey, and I have these aspirations. He'll be in France, and he's doing a 6-day cycling trek through Europe.
I'm in the wrong profession.
You are.
You actors going on these cycling through France, going to Wimbledon, the running of the Bulls. What the fuck are Praino and I are doing a goddamn podcast out of my studio apartment?
Yeah. I mean, you can come. I mean, it's not like it's some of you guys have flown Norwegian Air. It's not like I'm breaking the bank. It's a very affordable airline.
I've never flown Norwegian Air.
It'll be my first time, and I'm a little nervous.
Is it like Spirit Air of Europe?
Yes, it is. I had some problems trying to get my ticket, and I called them, and their headquarters is in Kiev, in Ukraine.
I was like, I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, I saw the look on your face.
The fuck is Kiev? Is that a sausage? I don't know what that is. The fuck is that?
But yeah, so yeah, hit me up, guys, if you guys have any tips on northern Spain. I'm definitely into that. But so my point is,
but you've been to Spain.
I have.
Lovely country.
Love it.
They take naps still.
I love it.
Any country that takes naps as adults is a great country.
Agree. I think that's part of I totally agree.
Siesta.
Yep.
It's amazing.
So I'm going there hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So we play before then and we play after. I mean 11 to 5.5 is just waiting for you.
Okay.
Whenever.
Now, when you do the running of the bulls, what are you going to do? Like, you going to go, like, how does it work?
I don't know. I mean, again,
do people have stations?
Well, you go on, you see the videos on YouTube and, I think there's different.
When's the last time?
It's not very far. It's like a half-mile run.
When's the last time somebody died?
I think last year.
Because they just get gored to death?
Yeah.
The adrenaline rush, bro.
I know. I don't know if I'll do it on the day. I would probably get too scared.
No, you got to do it.
I'll come back and I'll give you a full report on, if we did it or not. But it's just
well, no, you can't go to Pamplona and not do it.
I agree. I would do it. It's just, I don't know. Things happen to you.
Now, if you died,
if I died,
no, hold on.
I'll definitely come back on the podcast and tell you about it.
No. Hypothetically, if you died, does that mean our scene is cut out of Now We're Talking?
No way.
The scene stays.
You're in it. You're not in it for very long, but the scene that I cut for you guys in the bonus features is quite funny.
So we have a better scene in the bonus features.
No question, 100%. But everybody does, because it's like a montage of people.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in there with Chris Broussard.
I interviewed Chris Broussard.
Yeah, and
I told you, Chris Broussard went to the same grade school as my dad.
Oh yeah, we know.
It's 6 degrees from Walt Ruther.
His dad and your dad. It's his dad and your dad.
It was Chris Broussard's dad and my dad. Okay, yeah, that's it. Because Chris Broussard grew up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
My sources tell me that he grew up in Cleveland.
My sources tell me. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to come out healthy out of that 11-4 win that Joe and I are gonna put on you.
What's your biggest concern on facing us?
Staying healthy.
Not
being hurt by a bunch of small.
Who's tenacious is EJ.
I believe that.
He's got that Latin Puerto Rican blood in him.
What does Trevor do well on the court?
He just gasps for air. Trevor, for being a 20, this is amazing. Trevor and EJ both 25. Look, we're old men. Trevor, 25, is just this. Here's Trevor's problem, and this is his problem when Joe and I have faced him and EJ. Trevor just will not play defense.
Yeah.
Even let's say I've hit 2 threes in a row, Trevor's the type of guy who will still give me a wide open 3, where it's like, dude, I just hit 2. You probably don't, you know what I'm saying?
I want a heat check.
Yeah.
Give me the heat check.
He won't do that. So he'll just give me an open 3.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest concern with Trevor.
The comp that's coming to my mind with Joe and myself is that when in the Dream Team in '92.
Yes, I remember it very well. Not Angola.
I don't know anything about Angola, but they in trouble. It's Charles Barkley quote. So good.
Great line.
Tony Kukoc. When they played Kukoc, is that his name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Croatia?
I forget where he's from.
Lithuania or Croatia?
Someone looked that up for us.
I think it's Croatia. I'm pretty sure Kukoc is from Croatia.
But Jordan and Pippen were like, we're gonna hound you, and I think he scored 2 points. Pippen guarded him 94 feet.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do to you.
To me personally.
That's what I do to you personally.
You and Praino are gonna.
Here's my thing. 11 to 5, 11 to 4. Ruther does not score in the game.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Now you're saying I'm not going to score.
Yeah, I'm going to say that if I let you score, I don't know. Maybe I'll get a line in my head.
First of all, I don't think you get a line.
There's
in your
no
head.
chance I get.
Why wouldn't you get a line in your head?
I don't know.
I'll take you to my boy Trippy.
Yeah, I heard about Trippy.
You heard all about Trippy?
Yeah.
Trippy was definitely high when he did my
I just don't
lines.
think he'll score, and I don't think you guys will get to.
But why would I not score? That means you're gonna. It's not like you need to double team me. What are you gonna do?
I think Joe like boxing. We boxed and won you, and then one of us guards both EJ. And
EJ can play, man.
We'll find out.
I mean, I know I'm throwing Trevor completely under the bus right now.
We'll find out.
I mean, I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. I think we should also set an over and under how many dudes come over and say, "You want threes? You want threes?"
100% chance 3 and 2 is gonna get like at least 7 calls from the sideline.
When I played by myself last Friday, the key when you go out to the Venice Beach courts is you go out early. And by early, it's like 11 a.m. That's what's so funny. It's not even early. I went out last week and I shot around. I had my Andy Ruther workout mix on Spotify. That's what I was listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why my J was so money. These are the people that came over. An obese black woman with another group of obese black. I'm talking like 300 pounds. She goes, "Can I get a shot?" And of course, I'm like, "Yeah, I want to watch this." The ball maybe went a foot off, like above her. And then her friends were losing it. A white European guy who was probably in his 50s wearing Tivas. Another couple, like these are the people who come over, like, "Can I get a shot?" Yeah, exactly. It's just like, what?
They just want one shot and then walk off.
They want one shot and they walk off.
That's so stupid.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Tug. Well, I'm looking forward to it. You've done a great job as always. I love when you fill in for Praino. I mean, I miss my boy, but
Praino really he kind of plays God. He'll text me and say good or bad.
Praino's been in here.
I know. He's probably sleeping now.
No, Praino's been in this the whole time. I'm looking at the comment section. Should I go to some questions?
You want to throw a couple questions out there before we move on?
Guys, if you have any questions, we're going to wrap up the episode. So if you have any questions, it's a little delay, but fire away here on YouTube. Thank you to all the Dirtballs who watched us live. I love going live. I think it's a lot of fun, and we appreciate all the support when we go live. So if you guys have any questions for myself or Tug, fire away. Tug, anything you want to promote right now while I'm looking at these?
Just want people to keep their eyes, keep on the lookout for the release of Now We're Talking. We're still closing in on an air date. I'm hearing this summer. A lot of you guys and gals know me, but I'm really excited about the second season. We wrapped it up. Should be coming soon. And it's on a small network run by Verizon called Go90. But it is, once we have a chance to get it up and running, it's totally free. And if you love sports, which I know it's why you all are here at the podcast, I think you're going to really love this show. I think it's some of the funniest actors that you've seen on shows like The Office, Veep, all these great actors doing some great roles on our show. So it's called Now We're Talking. Hope you guys check it out. That's coming out this summer. So
season 1 was great.
You can check out season 1 right now on Go90. It's 1 hour of content, small episodes, but another great group of actors. My buddy Malcolm Barrett's on it. If you watch Timeless or you watch Preacher, Molly Ephraim, if you saw Last Man Standing, that was on with Tim Allen for so many years. A lot of great athletes, So check that out. Go to go90.com. Look for Now We're Talking.
And not to mention, it's small. But Joe and I have a cameo.
It's really good too. But really, it's just about the bonus feature. Like that, I cut that a couple months ago, and it's really fun.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, that's the best part.
So support our boy Tug, and of course you can follow him on Twitter at Tug Coker. We all love the TC Minute, which today has been a TC about 90 minutes. We do have a couple questions, Tug. Okay, we have from Johnny Fez. I'm a teacher and need to teach kids in juvenile detention tomorrow to substitute. What should I teach? Don't teach shit, bro. Juvenile detention. Talk to them about life. That's my advice.
When you're a teacher.
That's what I'm saying.
When you're a former teacher. You know the best.
That's what I'm saying. I used to teach kids that were delinquents, and there'd be days where we just talked about life.
Just show dangerous minds.
Yeah. They need somebody to talk to. That's my advice there. Tug, when are you going to go on Dirty Slides? That's coming from Stanga.
Haven't been. I need to really step up my game with baseball. Like, baseball was a first love for a long time, and somewhere along the line, it's the only sport where I kind of let go of my number one team with the Detroit Tigers. And I'd love to get back on there because I see Praino's love for Mike Trout out there, and I think we should get out there just to tout how great tout the Trout. Has that been started anywhere?
Tout the Trout.
Yeah, has that been hashtagged anywhere?
That's a good it's a good T-shirt.
I saw a stat that he hasn't gone 2 games in a row.
I saw this
without getting on base.
Ever?
Since in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he hasn't gone 2 games in a row without getting on base.
That's nuts.
And the whole point of baseball is to get on base.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
So when I get 100 more stats like that, I'm getting on Dirty Slides.
One last question from Brent DeHuff. Which city would have the most Super Bowl babies if they won next year? So I think he's basically saying, who's doing the most unprotected fucking?
That's a really good question.
Which city would have the most Super Bowl babies if they won next year? I'm going to go with Oakland.
I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. My argument for Oakland is it's their last year in Oakland and also a very high Hispanic population. We all know Mexicans do not like condoms.
Yeah. Isn't there a lot of hatred for the Raiders right now in Oakland though? Like, is there a sense of abandonment?
Yeah, but they'll all be hate fucking.
That's true.
There's a reason that term exists.
I like Minnesota because I think they got a real shot. They've never won it. It's super cold. You got to get warm. I like the Minnesota Vikings. That's my number 1 pick.
I like it. All right, guys. Well, that is the show. You, of course, can go see Joe Praino live. He's doing an East Coast tour. Go see him, guys. Go to joepraino.com. I know he's got a bunch of shows. Support our boy. You can follow him on Twitter at FixYourLife. You can follow me at Andy Ruther and the show at The Dirty Sports. And we got so many great iTunes reviews recently because I said something, Tug, that I would get who is this guy? Real quick before we wrap it up. I said I would get a haircut of this guy if we got enough iTunes reviews. Who is this guy? Do we know who this guy is? It was a tweet from Nick_Lato12. Nick said, how many iTunes reviews do we need to get that haircut? And I said, we need 2,000 ratings.
Yeah.
So we need about 500 more ratings. Anyway, so just leave those ratings, guys. Help support the show. And that's basically it. Tug, always a pleasure. Couldn't be happier having you fill in for Praino.
I just want to say thanks for all the support from all the dirtballs out there. It's fun talking to you guys on social media. You can follow me at Tug Coker on Twitter and Instagram. I'm gonna try to get some stories up as I go around LA, checking out the different bars at 5, 8, 11 in the morning, showing you what people are up to, and hopefully, if I get to Pamplona, like I said, please help me out if you got advice.
Maybe I'll get up early, Tug. Maybe send me a text.
Let's do it.
Maybe I'll meet you.
There's some fun games coming up.
Yeah.
So, the last thing I'll say, just appreciate, this is a quick World Cup nugget. Last one. It's TC Minute. The referee from Portugal and Morocco today was accused of asking for Pepe's jersey during the game.
Oh, wow.
And he's a math teacher from New Jersey. I need you to stand up and support these teachers. What are they doing, Andy?
Well, I don't support the teachers. Yeah. Sorry.
You can't be asking for jerseys during the game.
I can't support.
You can't be
I support teachers. I can't support that.
Yeah, that's a crazy move. So anyway.
Why? But bigger question. Why is a math teacher refereeing a World Cup game?
I have no idea.
I mean, hold on a second.
We're going to wrap up, guys.
That is a whole discussion. A math teacher is refereeing the biggest soccer event that only happens once every 4 years.
He refs for the MLS.
But come on, man.
I know.
I'm just saying. Like, you look at the NFL, a lot of those guys are like lawyers and they have prominent positions. This guy's telling kids to fucking stop farting in class. and now he's I'm just saying.
No wonder he's asking for a jersey.
God, poor guy.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for him.
Anyway, So, anyway, thanks for all the support. Thanks for having me on, Andy. Thank you, Joe, for letting me keep your seat warm. I'm not a replacement. I'm just trying to keep the show alive till you get back.
Well, thank you, Tug, and thanks to all the dirtballs. I cannot thank you guys enough for all your support. And most importantly, don't forget, condoms are for pussies.